amigos, hola, hola, amigas. Boom, 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 boom. Hi, hello. Hey everyone, oh man, Pollo. Dieter, hi Dieter. I'm going to try to use the scale we talked about today. I hope you can hear me. Anyway, the horse Vels, hi. Alistair Shivers. Matthias, hi. Silmeno. Hey everyone, let me know if you can hear me. Nervous neighbor, hi. How are you? How are you everyone? Here it's really hot. Dieter, I'm sure you also experience the same heat as I experience. Mr. Hagi, hi. It's really hot the last few days here. And I hope everything will go well with the computer and everything. Or we see later. Ay, cool. Yes. So because of the heat, I thought today volume is lower than usual. Maybe it's on your end. I don't know. I didn't change anything. Maybe it's because maybe my mic is a bit further away from me. Just a second. Maybe something like this. Oh, hi. Yeah, in Holland it's also probably really hot. So I thought because of the heat we will be a bit relaxed today. Nothing too. I mean, I hope. I don't know. One never knows what will happen in these streams, but I will try to make something a bit more relaxed, I guess, and drink plenty of water. Plenty of water. So I hope you're doing well. Today we have Neutrinode from Shebang. Actually, this whole collection is quite interesting. Eastern Canada. David, hi. So this whole collection from Shebang is quite interesting. Lots of interesting. I said interesting. I said already that this collection is interesting. If not, I will say it again. Yes, so really cool modules to experiment with. But today we will experiment a bit with Neutrinode. The outputs in the bottom two rows of MIDI to CV module. Start, stop, and continue, you mean? Hey, Washington. Hey, Emma. Craig. David. No, not David. Nervous neighbor. Bottom two rows. The bottom two rows. I thought the bottom. So we have the clock output from the MIDI controller or keyboard that you are using. You have a control clock division or multiplication that you can set in the right-click menu. You can set the clock resolution. Then you have retrigger. You said you know what this is. Then start and stop messages also from the MIDI controller. And continue also from the MIDI controller. If your MIDI controller is sending a continue message, then it's not restarting from the beginning of the sequence. It will continue from where it stopped. Okay, cool. Hey, Montreal. Yeah, clock and clock number. So the clock is the actual clock from the MIDI controller, and the clock N is either a multiplication or a division of this clock that you can select again in the right-click menu. Okay, I think we can start. It is when you are off axis on your mic. When you are straight on it, it's normal level. Okay, so I will tell you why. I will put it like this. I will put it as usual, but I have a fan here on the left, and because again it's really hot, so I need a fan, and I hope that like this it's not too loud. Let me know if the fan is too loud. If it's too loud, then I will politely ask you to just to leave it as it is because it's really hot. Okay, cool. So I think we can start. So again, we have the Neutrinode. So we have 4 nodes basically that we can put anywhere on the screen, on this axis, on this, let's call it space. Actually, we can also animate them. If I hit here move, then they will start to animate, which is quite cool. Which is, hey, Paul. which is quite cool because this is cool, sweet. So I hope it's okay like this with the mic. So now they're moving. I can remove the spots here, sort of stars, I think it's called, and I can add some stars. And according to the distance of the nodes from the stars, you can see that there are those lines that hits and the nodes will flow to those stars. Now we can change the BPM. I'm going to change the BPM all the way to 15. This is the speed of those spots hitting the stars. Oh, we can add the fan to the drone. And I can change the speed also in which the nodes are moving. You can see now they are moving quicker or inverting it. But we'll leave it at 0. Let's leave it at, let's take it even lower. Something like this. And another cool thing, in the right-click menu, you can choose to have it one shot. So now every time I hit play, you can see those are being those dots are traveling to the stars, and only when I hit play. So maybe we will do something like this. Let's leave it first at continuous, according to the BPM. And now we have 4 channels we can use, or we can use polyphony as well. I'm going to use the 4 channels. So let's start with the voice, really, just to have something going. Let's build the voice. What do you say? Let's build the voice. Let's not use a whole voice. Let's build the voice, and let's do something simple at first. Let's do something simple at first. Let's go with Basil. A sine wave is always nice. Okay. So we will start with a Basil. I'm going to use also a VCA, just so I have control over the level of Basil, and maybe an ADSR. No, let's go with an AD envelope from Nischi, because it's simple and it has also an end of cycle output that we will look at also later. It's great for generative stuff. So let's see, let's start with this. And now, Dieter, are you still here? At the beach watching only make ambience. It's so cool. So I'm going to use a scale that a friend of mine, Dieter, is in the chat also, introduced me to, which is I have it written here, Miyeko Bushi, or something like this. Mayiko Bushi. And it's quite a fun quantizer. Now the quantizer scale. It's a pentatonic scale, so there are only 5 notes, which means that it can also be other scales, but we will stay with this. Now, the Neutrinode has also a built-in quantizer, but I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to set this to raw volts. And then I'm going to quantize this separately. So I'm going to send the volt per octave to Revin, so we have also 4 channels of quantization. And the scale is like this. D, E flat, G, A, B flat, which means, again, we have 5 notes, pentatonic scale. It can also be, I think, E flat major, I think, and G minor also. I'm not so sure. It can be all sorts of scales, but this is again, the Miyeko Bushi scale. So we're going to experiment with this. No C minor today. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint you. Okay, and then we have the trigger also that we can use to trigger the envelope. And now we just have to wait for them to hit. I will hit play. We are in continuous mode now. Did I send it to the volt per octave? No. Just like this. Right? So now every time they hit, in this case it's the first channel, so it's the purple one. Right? I will do something like this actually. Put this here. So this is the first channel, it's the purple one. We have also the all outputs that we can use to have everything. Emma, it's called, I'm not pronouncing it right, but it's called the Miyeku Bushi, I think. I mean, Bushi, I'm pretty certain it's Bushi, but Miyako, Mayeko can be also. Okay, so let's add another voice. Let's do the same. Let's add another basal VCA and AD envelope. And now what I'm going to do soon, not yet, soon. I'm going to use another trigger and I'm going to use another pitch information. So now we have two channels. We have the blue and we have the purple. Let's wait for it. Right? So we have basically, what did I do? I have to do something like this. Now. Okay. So now let's turn this into something a bit fuller, let's say. I'm going to send this to Chronoblob 2 for a nice delay. It's a Japanese scale, yeah, but I also found it related to Native American flutes, but also Japanese, yeah, which is quite cool. Right, so now we're gonna add some delay to this. Let's take it a bit down. It's not going to be synced to anything, but I need this a bit quicker. Nice. And of course, lots of reverb already. Just something to have in the background, a bit of atmosphere, a bit of texture. Maybe the clock we don't need today. Hey Martin! Miyakobushi scale belongs to the group of Japanese scales because of the geographical location where it was born and its typical sound. Very useful in playing suspended chord or any chord that does not have a third. It can be great for improvising ethnic or modal music. Yeah, it's quite fun. Knowledge is power. Wikipedia is power. No, but seriously, I saw a video also someone using this scale with the same name, but he was playing a Native American flute, which was also quite nice, and I didn't have the chance to test this with my flute, but it will happen once. Not today, maybe, but maybe. Yeah, basically, listen, I mean, what does it mean? I mean, unless you are, I'm just raising here the modulation, unless you are playing the notes and you choose where is the home note and how the notes move from one another, you cannot really say which scale this is, because this can be also a part of the G minor scale, for example. You know? So it depends how it's going. Hey, Rasmus! But anyway, Dieter, thank you again for introducing me to this scale. It's quite nice. Okay, so now let's start adding some movement to all of this. I'm going to use the sample and hold from Mokba, which has eight channels. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the trigger from the first voice to trigger, let's say 1, 2, let's say 3, and the trigger from the second voice to trigger another 3. And now I'm going to use one channel to modulate the mod 1, another channel to modulate the mod 2, another channel to modulate the decay time, let's say, of the decay of the envelope. Actually, let's take 4. Let's take 4 triggers for each channel, and another one to modulate the attack of the envelope. And I will do the same also for the second voice. Decay and attack. And now here we have what is so nice about this sample and hold. This sample and hold is, first of all, we can change the range for each channel. So let's do this quickly. Let's have Let's take the mod down and let's have only positive voltage for the first two channels, which is the mod. And let's open the attenuators a bit. We will do this for the second one as well. Oh yes. This is nice. And for the decay and attack, I would actually like also to have them only unipolar, but not so heavy. So I'm going to set them to 0 first. I hope the sound is still okay and you can hear everything. And then I'm going to open it just a bit, just to have some variation every now and then for the attack and decay. Let's listen to this for a second. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Now I had something in mind that I wanted to do and I forgot. But what we can do, we can use also the sample and hold to modulate the delay time. So I will use one channel, let's say the only positive channel from the first output and only positive channel from the fifth output. And just make it that it's just changing. I know what I want to do. So another cool thing about this sample and hold is that it has probability per channel. So I can set also the probability just a bit down, so it will not always be triggered and will output a new value, which is also quite cool for generative stuff. We still have 2 more channels here. So nice. So this, for example, I can let it run now for an hour. Just do something else, relax a bit, read a book, I don't know. Let's do something like this. Let's do something like this. I'm going to use Simpliciter. Simpliciter, no need for Simpliciter. I'm going to use the complex simpler. And I'm going to record this after the delay. But I'm going to take it first an octave up, because later I will want to take it an octave down. So I'm going to take this an octave up from the quantizer. We can do this from Basel itself. We can do this from the sequencer. We can do this. But now, let's record. Maybe not so much feedback. Maybe like half a minute. Okay. So now we have, we resampled this voice after the delay. I'm going to take the octaves down again. And let's have a listen to this. So this is now the recording. But first of all, I'm going to let it to run in reverse. Much slower. And I'm going to take it an octave down. Two octaves down even. 2 octaves down? What do you think? 1 octave down or 2 octaves down? Lots of reverb. Oh yes. super slow. ויגאל לבור. Okay, now this is happening, I think, a bit too much, I guess, this whole... I mean, they are playing a bit too often. So what we can do, we can set it to one shot. So now it will wait for a trigger in the play trigger input, like this. I'm going to add a few more stars. Create a sort of generative clock, sort of a generative trigger. So we can do this, for example, with an LFO. We can do this with an ADSR, an AD envelope. Let's do this with an AD envelope, with a looping envelope. I will show this on the scope just in case. So now I can set this envelope to loop, which means that it will just loop. It will loop. And what I will do, I will use sample and hold, the sample and hold from Bog Audio, and I will change its range to, let's say, 0 to 3 volts. And now we have here the end of cycle output. Whenever a cycle, one cycle ends of the envelope, it will output a trigger. So this trigger will trigger, you can see it here, it will trigger the sample and hold, which in turn will modulate the attack and the decay. So now each cycle has a different length, which means that each, you can see this, which means that now from the end of cycle output we get a sort of a generative clock, which is more or less the basics of the Krell patch, which is quite cool. So now what we will do, I will use a clock divider. A clock divider or chances? A clock divider or chances? Let's use chances. Okay, so I will not use a clock divider, I will use chances, which is basically, it's a Bernoulli gate which will add probability to this generative clock we just created. So now, according to this knob here, it will come out of output A or output B according to the probability. In this case, it's about 50%. So there's a 50% chance it will come out of A and 50% chance it will come out of B. Now, there is another thing here in these chances that I want to show you on the scope. So now, every time it comes out of A, or every time the chances are that it will come out of A, it will continue coming out of A, each of those triggers, which means that there might be a stream of triggers that might be too quick. But if we change it to latch, the trigger or the gate in this case will stay high as long as output A is chosen. I hope it makes sense. The play is for all four, yeah. Hey, CRWN, thank you, thank you. So let me know if it makes sense. So now, as you can see, we will get less triggers, less gates that will trigger the play. But I think still it's too much. So I think anyway, I will use a clock divider just to make it even less. So let's divide it by 16. So now every 16 triggers, there's a chance the Neutrinode will be triggered. So let's listen to this a bit. Maybe a division by 16 is a bit too much. Now what we can do, but I'm going to take the wet all the way up so we get only the delayed signal, raise the delay time a bit, and bring in the feedback so it will last longer as well. A bit relaxation. Just use a sample and hold for the pitch CV instead of using the Neutrinode's gates. What do you mean by using the pitch instead of the gates? I'm not so sure I understand, Emma. That way you have more control, as in lets lesser gates through the Neutrinode lets you, if that makes sense. You mean to add chances, for example, to the triggers from the Neutrinode? This we can also do. Let's do this actually. Let's use branches in this case, which is another Bernoulli gate, just two of them. And let's use more voices. This time, let's use a voice. Let's use a voice or VCO, a voice or VCO. Let's see what we have here. Maybe an FM voice? No, an FM voice I will save for later, I think. Let's see, just a second. Oh, I think we will use also psych for a nice bass. I'm not so sure about the polyphonic trigger input for the play. I'm not so sure. I have to check this. Oh, the editor. Let's take one editor and let's take one Platz. Let's take one Platz. I like Platz, I like in the two operator FM. Let's also a bit just detune the oscillators a bit from one another, just so they are a bit different. And plats, I will also add an envelope. I will not use the built-in envelope because I will want to modulate it as well. Okay, and now what we will do, we have the editator. Editator is basically an additive oscillator, which means that it will stack partials, it will stack sine wave on top of each other, and will create all sorts of different sounds. I will take the partials all the way down, so now we have basically a sine wave. And plats will be an FM voice, so I'm going to send this, the envelope I'm going to send to the level input, because it has a sort of an internal level control. It's not really a VCA, but it's more or less like a VCA, right? We have this. And we have this. And let's send this actually to Supercell in looping delay mode. And okay, and now the pitch again will come from Neutrinode. It will go once to the editator and once to plats. But the triggers we're going to send first through a Bernoulli gate, which means that sometimes they will come out and trigger the voice and sometimes not, according to the probability. Now there will be a thing here, because I'm using pitch. Let me think about it for a second. Because I'm using pitch separately from the triggers, it means that if I have a long enough envelope, the pitch will still change. But maybe it's okay, why not? Maybe it's alright. Let's leave it like this for a second. This was nice. What is this? It sounds like something is out of tune here, oh? Maybe I detuned them a bit too much. Just a bit. Feature model, but I will just place deja vu without any special usage and set the gate out to gated. Can just end the triggers with the gate output. Yeah, I have to make a whole live stream about the orange line module splitter. Okay, so now let's do this. I didn't send them to Supercell, so let's send them to Supercell first. And now here, Supercell is in looping delay mode. First of all, I will take the time to 4 seconds, so it's a bit more crunchy. With the shape, we can turn it to the right or to the left and get to the left a low pass filter, to the right a high pass filter. With density, we can smear the sound. So let's do this really. I will take the mix all the way up. Let's smear the sound. The size, we will speak about the size in a second. Let's add feedback. And the position is the delay time, so let's take it a bit up. Yeah, Rasmus, that's what I wanted to do, but actually I thought maybe it will be nice also that the pitch will change while the envelope is still open. Why not? Right, so now we have this here. And I'm going to add lots of space, not so much, but a lot, which is reverb. Maybe this is a bit too much. And now with the hold, I can freeze the buffer. miss a bit, but then the delay time changes, but still it's quite fun. Okay, so now we need to change the sound a bit. I will solo it for a second, just a second, let's see. Going to change the places of the odd frequencies, so we get something a bit brighter. And let's add some FM. This sounds a bit like a flute. Maybe we can add some vibrato to this flute, maybe. Let's see, through the FM. Yeah, you can sync the delay with the trigger input. Oh, this is what I wanted. Okay, let's take them an octave down. Maybe even 2 octaves down. No, 1 octave down is right. I took you an octave down. Why are you not... Alright, now. Let's do something like this. This is the end of cycle output. Hey, KRNX. Okay, let's modulate. Actually, you know, this sample and hold is also a slew expansion, so we can have also slewed sample and hold, which is quite cool. So something is a bit okay, so now I'm going to use one channel with some probability to modulate. I will use it from here to modulate the filter of the editor, so it will have sometimes more or sometimes less high frequencies. And also the timbre of plats of the FM. Maybe also a bit, just a bit, the rate of the LFO. I will add stability soon with the bass, yeah. We will use a psych. For now I'm just enjoying this. Oh, I should have sampled this psst sound. this with Psych. I will have to tune it to, I think G will work best here. So I can just use ref tone actually. I think G will work nicely here. Let's see. And I'm going to use also, of course, a filter. Signal, unipolar, that will modulate the filter a bit to add some movement. And let's have it also going a bit left and right. I can use the panel actually, I don't need a mix. Just to pan it a bit left and right. I know it's a bass, but still, why not? I mean, it's... everything goes, oh. I'll use another quicker walk. Some delay on this bass also, so I'm going to split this bass to highs and lows and use another blob. Yeah, let's use another blob. So now only what's above about 600 hertz will go to the delay. Let's do this. I will use UMix to mix this walk another envelope. Rate automatically adjusts the signal to specific values. Which rate? On walk? No, it's just the frequency of this. Okay, I'm going to use another envelope. I'm going to mix this envelope with this U-mix. So it will do like this. Just every once in a while. So I'm going to use a clock divider divided by 64, let's say. Again, from this generative clock we had before. Oh yes. Yeah, it's just the frequency of this. I can show you it also on the scope. So on the left we have a slower one. You can see it's quite slow. But here on the right we have a quicker one. Okay, now I want E flat and G. So I'm going to use a switch to switch between them, but also in a generative way, so randomly. So let's do this. Oh, maybe also C once. Yes, so we're gonna have 3 stages. No, I don't like the C because it's I don't want the C. I just want 2 notes. I want G and B flat, E flat. Hey, Zen wires. Yeah, exactly. Walk is amazing. Okay, now I'm going to use another clock divider, clock division of 32, let's say, to switch those notes. Now again, we are using a generative, a sort of a random, if you will, clock, so the divisions will not happen always the same all the time. Nice. Hey, Kelso, I guess? Celso, Kelso, hi. The switch from Instru, I don't know. I like this switch from VCV. I think the switch from Instru has also two switches and I just need one, so in VCV I can choose. C is for Cohen, why not C? Exactly because of that. No, I'm joking. I don't want it to linger on C too much. That's why. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this sample we recorded. Hopefully it will not. So I have to save it. Call it 1. And I will load it here. Where is load? Open. Because now I will want to trigger to have it also in reverse, but an octave up, going through a VCA. I like sampling and resampling, you know that it's really to send to a VCA. I'm going to use another AD envelope. I think the AD envelope. This is nice. The AD envelope is really nice for this generative stuff. So I'm going to use another clock division. But I want a different division. I don't want something that is a multiplication of 2 or something like this. So I'm going to use, this is so nice. I'm going to use the same end of cycle output from this envelope, and I'm going to divide it by 47, by 52, by 53, let's say. I don't know why 53, and this will trigger the envelope, which will have a nice long attack. And I want this also to move everywhere in the stereo field, so let's see. Because it doesn't really know what's going on with this clock yet. It's having a hard time recognizing the clock because it's not steady. Hey Kyle! Dark scale, right? Or it's just me making it so dark. This is too quick for me now. I think that I will use a different clock divider, I guess. Like those envelopes. I don't know, sometimes it's okay, it's a bit loud. And I think it needs a bit of reverb. Okay, I think the supercell in looping delay mode was not a good choice. I think I will go with the regular granular mode. So in this case I will use just clouds actually. No need for supercell. Can save some space. Okay. And I will take the mix all the way up. The texture all the way up so it's nice and smeared. Bit of density, let's say, maybe more input gain, more stereo spread, a bit more feedback, and lots of reverb. Nice. Let's set the clock divider to it. Because of the clock divisions, that we have a clock divider divided by 32 and one by 64, those changes in notes for the bass are coming sometimes together with this envelope opening this filter, which is quite cool, I have to be honest. I want to add more here to the filter. Basically an LFO that I'm going to set to be want another envelope. I love those envelopes. What should I do? With again a bit longer attack. Now what I will do, I will use another chances, and I will use the end of cycle of this envelope here to trigger. Set the trigger to chances, and from there to trigger this envelope, which will open the VCA for the LFO. Now we are really getting generative, complicated stuff. Mycelium territory. Also chords. Come on, let's add some chords. I will use the FM operator for this, and I have here already the key step. So let's do this here. I'm going to create a sample. Okay, so let's do something like this. Let's create a 2-operator FM. I'm going to use two FM operators. One will be an octave up, then the carrier, the one that we will hear. I will send it to the FM input, and I'm going to have control over the depth with the MIDI loud controller. You can see this is turning. You can see here the thingy-majiggy. and let's use the key step. Voice is softer. Sorry, I'm just so relaxed here with this patch. I'm speaking a bit softer. Okay, but we wanted chords. Music is way louder, you cannot hear my voice, still not. Let me know if it's still the case. VCV is too loud. Until now it was okay, oh? Okay, no, I just spoke really softly because I was so in the patch. Sorry. I just added some FM. What about a shift register connected to repellent for the chord, which will make it also generative? To repellent. Yeah, we can use also I have an idea with a shift register. Maybe we can create some arpeggios with those chords. This can be cool. Yeah, sorry, I spoke to myself. G minor chord. G minor triad. Works nicely. Maybe we can try an inversion of it. Let's sample this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to record this one time. It will be G minor, I guess, or just G minor. Let's see. Inversion. Let it cycle. I don't want it to cycle. And I will want also I think it's the first stream I did that I didn't use the C minor scale. Hey Void 101, I think. Maybe not the first one, but one of a few. Oh, I have the mic also a bit lower. Oh, now it's better. Oh, hi. What did I want? I wanted... Maybe we can use the dual delay and create all sorts of glitches. The dual delay from MSM, we can create all sorts of glitches with it. So I'm going to use this delay, take the level all the way up. Where is it? Level A, level B. Yeah, the spreader, yeah. Hence the no C, exactly, Emma. Okay, and lots of feedback and different delay times. Let's listen to this, how it sounds like now, but I need lots of reverb in this case. Let's see. This is what I wanted. I wanted basically to create those glitches with the delay. So now let's think how we can do this. The same trigger that is going to trigger this loop. No, what we will do, okay, I have an idea. I have here a few more sample and holds free. So I'm going to use again this generative clock that we created, but with probability on the sample and hold, and this will modulate. Okay, modulate the delay times here. Just a bit, right? No feedback on A. No, actually it's bipolar, so you can have it in a different phase. So if you turn to the left, it's a different phase than turning it to the right. So you get this sort of no feedback is in the center. This is 0. Yes, it's just too loud. Yes. Now we need something to trigger this chord. Create another pad, I think, another chord or something like this, a bit fuller with a different, not with FM, with something else. But maybe the FM I will keep for a nice solo maybe later. Solo, not solo, like a line. Okay. I need, what do I need? I need something to trigger this. We have so many different envelopes here that we can use. Let's use the chances here from down to trigger this sample. Yeah, the MSM delay is really nice, totally, yeah. It has also a built-in filter. Yeah. You can also sync it with the clock. And it's a dual delay, so you can use 2 different delays, basically. 2 mono delays. This is out of habit. I always adjust, Kyle, I always adjust the levels, the input level, the gain, the input gain. This is just because I'm used to it from mixing and stuff like this. Before I touch the fader, I always change the input gain, the level I want it, and if I need more than this, then I reach for the fader. But first of all, that the input, that it's not getting too hot into the mixer. I'm just used to it. Oh, a comparator we can use. Oh. Okay, now let's do this. We will use a comparator, but for something else. So let's really do this thing with the shift register. The shift register. The shift register. I'm going to take the notes. Okay. So we also have the Neutrinode. We also have an all output, which will output from all of the channels. Now I'm pretty sure it's not polyphonic. Let's see. No, it's not polyphonic. I mean, because this is not a polyphonic, we didn't set it to be polyphonic also. You can have it also, but no. Did I say polyphonic? I said it polyphonic. So the pitch will go to the input. No, I need it from the... Okay, we will use... because it's not quantized. Wait a minute, let me see. Let's add another quantizer. Come on, it's VCV. D, E flat, G, A, B flat. Okay. So I'm going to quantize this. And the trigger I can use either from the... Let's use it from quantum. Right, so every time we have a change in pitch, it will trigger the shift register, and the shift register will sample the pitch information and will shift it also downwards. So basically we will get a polyphonic, we will get sorts of chords soft register. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge them. Let's merge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say, into a polyphonic signal, which then I'm going to arpeggiate. Would that be poly for each of the nodes too? Yeah, Emma. Yes, it will be also poly. So whenever they meet at the same time different stars, they will output a polyphonic signal. Which means that if you're using a polyphonic voice, you will get multiple voices the same. The unspeakable spreader, yeah. Still in CC Dorian? No, that's, how is it called again? The Maiko Bushi. Yeah, actually the Shebang has also an arpeggiator, but I never used it, I don't know why. And I just want a normal arpeggiator, so I'm going to use this ARP. I'm going to use this ARP. I'm going to use offset just to send the gate. Send the gate. I can use also the gate from Quantum actually. And I need a clock. So let's use an LFO to be our clock. I need something a bit quicker with some modulation. G harmonic minor. Yeah, it can be also something like this. Yeah. It can be also something like this. But we are concentrating on the Maiko Bushi. Never mind, it scales. I mean, in stuff like this, the scales don't really matter. It's all about the intervals and how you play them. But so this will be our clock. No need for a reset. Let's go with going up, right, and 2 octaves. And now I'm going to use the same FM voice. I'm just going to take it. No need for it to be polyphonic. And I don't need this also. Okay, I'm just going to delete it and edit here, sorry. So again, a 2 operator FM voice, just like we did before, maybe a bit detune them from one another this time. The gate will go to the gate, the volt per octave will go to the volt per octave. I'm going to set also the internal gate. I want this to be plucky, a nice arpeggiated sound. And what we will do, I will send this to another VCA, just so I have control over the level. Let's listen to this just for a second to see how it sounds like. Nice. I need this maybe an octave down. Maybe an octave down, so I'm going to do something like this. With FM. Yes. And it's changing. The arpeggiator is changing. Hey David, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Miyako. Maybe it's Miyako Bushi. I wonder if it has a meaning, if it means something. So it's time for another AD envelope, of course. That we will get something nice. Let's take also a blob. And I'm going to use actually a mono blob in this case, and I'm going to put a filter in the feedback loop of the chronoblob. If you're using a mono delay, we can use a filter, for example. You can use other stuff also. In the feedback loop, and I found that font is working really nicely with the chronoblob. So I'm going to use font and just modulate it a bit. And let's have a listen to this. Let's see. I'm going to sync this with the clock. No, because I want to modulate the clock later. I just don't want it to be so much. Modulate the panning here a bit. I'm really into this patch now. It's hard for me to speak. I feel like I ruined the sound. I like this so much. In this case, I think it's D, yeah. Buenos tardes, Samuel. No, in this case it's G. It's a G. What about this chord? Did it play anytime once? I think I will change this here. I will take this. What I will do with this? No, this I will leave as it was, but the other I'm going to use another divided clock here. And maybe just delay it. I will use D-gate just to delay this clock a bit, because I don't want it to happen at the same time with the other stuff. So let's delay this by, let's say, 6 seconds. I don't want it to happen exactly on the same division here. Actually, I can do this with the other stuff as well, but for now it sounds nice. Hi, Future Star. Hey, Yonicam Marian. Godzilla, hi. Thank you so much. Going on here? Okay. Now. Okay, so now let's use a comparator to bring in this, to trigger this envelope. Will bring this arpeggio. So let's find something that we can use. Let's see. Let's say, for example, this pitch. It's D in this case, can be, all right. Hey, Decamorph. Okay, so I'm having a look at this pitch information. I just want to see more or less the range of this pitch, and then we will use the comparator with it. So let's say every time it crosses the 1.8 volt, as you can see here, it reaches 1.83. So let's say 1.8 on the comparator, 1.8 I want. Yeah, 1.8. Every time it crosses this threshold, this arpeggio will be triggered. Alright, so this will go to the input. Comparator will just compare this voltage into the it will compare it with the threshold, in this case 1.8, and when it goes above this, it will trigger this envelope. Just like this. Juan. Is it Juan or Joan? Dale, thank you first of all, thank you. Do you organize... Okay, but it's a bit too much. Just a second, I'm sorry, I will come back to this question. I don't want it to happen too much. I'm going to use another clock divider, and I'm going to divide this clock a bit, this gate. Let's say by 4, right? Say something like this. Okay, so again, do you organize your practice by writing down patch ideas, or just treat it like exploratory play? This is a good question. So if I write down patch ideas, sort of. I don't really have a notebook with patch ideas, but I have videos that I work on that are putting this stuff in my head because of the repetition. Helps remembering stuff. The live streams, of course, when I use the different things, again, repetition. Practice is all about repetition. Also, all sorts of things that I share with Patreons and stuff, like this book that I have, this document that I have with patching ideas. So I don't really write them down, sort of a notebook, but I am repeating them more or less, which helps me remember them also. And yes, I also experiment a lot, and sometimes I find something and I try again to repeat it in other places, other patches, other how is it called? Other genres of patches, let's call it. But I think repetition is key, I guess. Let me know if this answers the question. Your bass sounds are always so rich and interesting. I can best plain texture for the life of me. David, this is really simple what I did here. It's just psych going through a filter. I did add some movement with an LFO, for example, with random voltage going to the cutoff point, but basically it's just psych, which is a lot because it's 4 oscillators, going to the filter. I think for bass, if you stack a few oscillators on top of each other, like with Psych, then it's really nice. Are you working on any new albums, Omri, Kyle? No, not at the moment. I have a few ideas. The thing that I don't have is time. I just need to find the time, because I like to work. I don't like to stop. When I'm working on an album, I don't like to stop. I like to work on the album from beginning to end. I mean, recording the pieces, of course. So it's cohesive, so it's one piece. I'm old school. I like albums that have a story behind them. So I think, so I need time for this. I need to make time for something like this. Okay, now I need something a bit... some noises. I need some noises. Could we have this patch after you finished? Yes, totally, I will put it in the description. Mr. Huggy. Yeah. David, alright, cool. I need some sort of noises. So first of all, let's add noise, which can also add a lot, something like waves or something. I'm going to use again Lala because I want just to filter out the low frequencies. Let's use white noise, why not? Sorry, I'm going to add tangents as a low pass, and this will be also a sort of a level control. In this case, I'm going to use the delay from VCV, mix all the way up, feedback time, and maybe the color also a bit up. Chirp, also chirps. Yeah, I'm going to add some stuff. Actually, I have keys here in my pocket that I thought I can sample. Okay, let's see how this will sound like. Lots and lots and lots. I will cut also here the low frequencies a bit. And it needs movement in the stereo field. Hey Divyam. Yeah, Emma, Kyle, I don't know, I feel like if I wait too long, I feel like the music is not, how is it called? Man, this patch is making me sleepy. It's not actual anymore. It's not actual. I mean, it's not, I feel like a different person. If I wait like a month between the pieces, I feel that the overall piece, the album is not connected. The pieces are not connected. And this is a bit harder for me. Spontex, a heartbeat. Yeah, we can try this for sure. Totally. Juan. I still don't know if it's Juan or Juan. I'm sorry, but I will say Juan. If I have a fixed track, I have a few. I have a few that I like to experiment with. Yes, and I shared all of them somewhere on the internet somewhere, so you can find them. I guess patch storage. There are a few fixed track there that I have. Yeah, the clear factor, exactly. I think that the beautiful thing about modular is that you cannot reproduce stuff. Of course, with VCV Rec it's easy, but I like this general idea that when you do something, it exists only once, and that's it, and you cannot reproduce it. And yes, just like you, the clear factor, I also find it really hard to go back to older patches and see what's going on and also feel the same about them. I don't know, I feel... yeah. The Horsewell, yeah, mixing is... okay, wait a minute. What do you call mixing? Because a lot of mixing I do already when I compose, already when I choose the sounds. This is where the mixing starts. Level, spanning, reverb, everything is a part of the sound. So with this I'm not going to wait, but I do give myself a bit of time before I finalize things, the dry things, let's say. You know, sometimes levels that I hear sometimes that they are a bit too loud or a bit too low and stuff like this. So yes, with this I wait. Okay, where was I? Ah, the noise. Another envelope. And let's use another clock division from this clock. The thing is, I don't like, I don't like it that it's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. I would like to have divided by 7, for example. Let's use again R-gate. Let's see if it works. R-gate. Let's use the clock divided by 2 from here. And let's divide this by 7. So we have divided by 14, let's say. Or divided by 9. Or divided by 6. I don't know, divided by 9. Will it work? Composing and mixing is getting blurrier these days. Totally, Kyle. Totally. Yes, Martin, indeed. I like to take this also to VCV, but also actually back in the day, like it's 20 years ago, a few years ago, when I composed and created music only with VCV rack, also back then I had to finish. I started something, I had to finish it without waiting too long. I couldn't. It's just so hard to go back to older patches. Hey, Great Sphinx, thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Sound design is already mixing. Yeah, totally. Back in the day, when C was cool. Okay, I need more noises. Let's sample the keys. I have keys here in my pocket that I thought we can sample a bit. Let's see if it works. Sample. Let's see how it will sound like. I think I have already my mic here connected. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Let's try this one more time without me hitting the mic. Okay, let's... Did I hit the mic again? No. Let's... Wait a minute, there's a question. Could you add a D to the low bass note just for a few seconds to hear it once? Yeah. Keys, you will have to wait for a second. A D. Yeah. No, a D doesn't work so well here. I really think it's a G. G feels like home in this case. To wear out my question, welcome. No, feel free, but you are very inspiring. Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much. Do you find yourself spending less time with VCV and more with hardware? No. Not at all. No, not at all. I use VCV still very often. It's so easier to experiment and to try ideas in VCV than to on hardware. First of all, because you don't have to wait for oscillators to warm up. You don't have to tune anything. You can just experiment ideas because you have lots of modules that you can try out, and then think in hardware how you can translate it and work with it. VCV is, for me at least, very intuitive. I work really, I don't want to say I work quickly, but I like the workflow in VCV. It's really easy for me to start something and experiment. And in hardware it's a totally different story because it's heavier. It's heavier. Hardware is heavier. You sit down, you are sucked into this world. It's hard to get out. Usually when I sit with hardware, it's like at least a few hours. With VCV I can jump in 5 minutes, try something, go out, try something else, do something else in the meantime, open a different patch, start a new patch. You know, it's really quick. With hardware it's heavy. You sit down, you are it's like a box. You are locked with your eyes. It's heavier. So no, I sorry, that was a long answer. I still find myself using VCV rack much more than I use hardware. Mitch at Pitch, hi. Bukla Sins, no, unfortunately not. Diviam, unfortunately not. One day. I do have this one from Arturia, but it's so hard to find time for everything, really seriously. I mean, it's really hard to find time. Keys, we are with the keys, let's see. What's going on here? Refresh rate. Okay, let's wait for it for a second. I want to solo it for a second. The music is element from Arturia. Let's see, I want to listen to this for a second. Can I normalize this here? No. Okay. Yes. 10. Maybe we can just leave it looping. Yes. Animatek, hi! I'm doing well, thank you. I'm relaxed with this patch here. Inverted pops, hey man. What I will do, I will leave it looping, but I will play a bit with the levels just to create more variation, so it's not all the time. Hoppala. Diviam, yes, I wish I had the time. Seriously, there are so many cool things out there, but I cannot do everything. I wish I could. this arpeggio. I should name my tracks so I know what's going on. This is this one arpeggio. It's a bit loud. Shall I try adding a heartbeat? What do you think? Yes, the keys are a bit dark, that's true. Okay, let's start. I know where we will start. Before the heartbeat, let me know if we should add a heartbeat. I think it will be a bit too much, but let me know. Carpless, strong frogs. We have noise already. We have noise already somewhere down, so we can use this noise. I hope my computer will survive everything. Carpless, strong frogs. Let's go with gray noise, lots and lots of resonance. And I need more sample and hold. I will put it here, just this here. And let's see. Nice. Cheers, Juan. Not backwards? Alright. Not backwards. Shall we try this an octave down, maybe? Nice. Okay. Carpless strong frogs. Let's see how it works this time. I need also... Okay, let's start with this. Okay, let's take... We have here a clock divider that I will just take the divided by 2 for now. Let's see how if it will be too much or not. Yes, it's too much. So not divided by 2, let's take divided by 4. Carpless strong frogs. Okay, and we need walk to modulate the delay time. And I need a sample and hold. I will just have a normal sample and hold negative positive 5 for the filter. Also for the panning of this voice. Frogs. Are the keys too much? Now it sounds like a chain really. Mark, hey Mark. Don't forget if you're interested in TV score work. Thank you so much. I have to be honest, I'm not so sure if this is the direction I want to go in, but yeah, of course I will message you and we can speak. Totally, yeah. Cheers, thank you. Folks, are the chains too much? It sounds really like chains. Maybe we can sample something else. Clear Factory, are you still here? There is a question I want to ask you. I forgot what something. Okay. Okay, let's do something like this. Son of Dubia, hi. The story, no, why? Juan, niches. I'm not so sure. I will have to think about this. I'm not so sure. David, we have already an ARP. It will come in by itself. I'm not so sure when. High past the chains. Let's make them also a bit psyche. Maybe I will get rid of the punch. No, let's leave punch actually, but I'm going to do something like this. Something like this. I didn't want it to be so dark, no. It just became dark by itself. Let's do something like this. I want to play a bit on top. Just with the keyboard a bit. I will use Bleak. And maybe also Terraform. Okay, let's mix them. I will just use Umix maybe with an average. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is we go to a VCA. Need it polyphonic. I don't need this polyphonic. Car plus keys. Yeah. Wow, this is nice. Nice, Emma, nice. You want it darker. Emma, car plus keys. There are some elements here that will come in and out just really seldom, so this is not a whole patch even. Braids? Well, braids is basically like having two braids. And when you have it, you have also freak, which is also quite nice. And it has an internal VCA, unlike braids in VCV. And it's quite cool. Braids was created for hardware as an alternative firmware for Freak. So you can try it in VCV, but okay, let's see, for example, just how this sounds like. Then we will create something hopefully nice. We'll see. I love tangents, you know. I just use tangents all the time, but this is how I am. Knock as well, yeah. Okay. Sub. Modulating the pulse width and the wave of Blick, and let's change this to an F. I like FM also, to an FM sound here, and modulate the FM a bit. Let's see. Okay, now let's try and create a feedback loop. Alright, let's see what happens with the feedback loop. I'm going to use a mixer, and let's use a reverb. I like feedback loops with reverbs. So what we will do, we will send the voice to the mixer, from the mixer to the reverb, and from the reverb to the output. Let's see first of all how this sounds like. I'm sorry chat, I'm not looking. Just a second. Octave up. Hey Justin. The geodesics shirt, and I'm going to use a geodesics module. This is a big patch. I'm going to use pulsar, and I'm going to use pulsar to scan through different LFOs here. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's say 4, and they will go to the FM. And I'm going to use another. Use another LFO. With VCV you just add LFOs, doesn't matter. Okay, and I want this to be random, so I'm going to activate supernova and a bit slower, and let's see now. Hey Kai! Be down to contribute to your Patreon. Thank you, Juan. Maybe we could talk more there about channel ideas. I'm a classically trained guitarist and fellow Mushroom fan. Fun guy. You're a fun guy. Sure. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Totally. Yeah. I just need to think about some. I mean, it's hard to think now about ideas, but yeah, sure. Totally. Happily. Feedback loop. Okay, so this was with the reverb. Let's send the reverb back to the mixer and see what happens. Let's see, just a second. Distortion, this is what happens. Let me look at the levels here. Yeah. Like this. Let's add a chorus. Hopala. The electric ensemble. I'm sorry, chat again. I'm not looking. I'm sorry. That. Yes. Great. Let's turn the mix all the way up for a second. Okay, I will look at the chat first. Cheers, Man Poyo. Thank you. Alexander, thank you for joining. Feedback loop is nice. It's a bit out of control at the moment. Okay, and I need more reverb at the end here. 12. All right. Cool. Going with the... I forgot the volt per octave for Terraform. This is why I got this drone always. Now let's see. Yes. Yes. Let's mix. Where am I mixing them? Here. Let's mix another voice. I need something a bit plucky. So I will add a plucky FM operator. Let's see if one is enough. Let's see if one is enough. I need some pluckiness here. Okay, but I will use a different mixer. I will not use the U mix. I will use this mixer here. It will be easier to mix the sounds. This is nice. This is nice. Wow. Cheers, Martin. Cheers. Okay, let's play with this a bit. Wow, this is a nice sound. Wow, this is a nice sound. You want to turn this into minimal techno? Let's see, I have here a preset. Yes, a preset. Let's see my computer if it will hold. I don't know. I don't know. Sturmelder, hi! No wolf this time. Yeah, you know what? True, no wolf. Weird. Sturmelder, I'm using you. The clear factor, I wanted to ask you something. What was this one stream where I recorded myself? What was I saying in reverse? What was it? You for sure remember. Yeah, I don't like this so much actually with the rhythm. I liked it before more. It was just a fun experiment. Channels out. Yeah, I also think without rhythm it's better, so let's do something like this. I'll just remove them. That's it. Okay. Okay, nice. Nice. This was a fun one. So many sounds, so cool. Everything is running by itself other than this solo feedback thingy. And of course we have frogs and keys. And it was not in the C minor scale. Okay, thank you again so much. Thank you again so much for joining. Hopefully next week we will see us again. We will meet again. This was a fun patch. I needed this with all this heat going on here. I will just save all of the different samples quickly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. That's more or less it. Thank you for joining. Have a great weekend. And cheers. Cheers, everyone. And thank you, Dieter, again for the nice scale. Cheers, cheers, everyone. Cheers.